I acted and I wanted to be a set designer when I was in college. And I also really fell in love with this strange, mysterious museum in London called the Dennis Sievers House, which I'll talk a little bit about in a second. So, because I knew that the book was going to almost entirely take place in London, I moved to Piccadilly Circus in the middle of London, in the middle of the theater district, for 3 months. And it was a little bit like living in the middle of Times Square. The lights never went down. It never really got quiet. This is my flat. And this is what it looked like in the 19th century. That's the same building, same flat. And this is what my building looked like in like 1910. That was my front door. There it is today. And this is where I lived, my apartment, my flat. And so what I loved about this, especially because of the location, was that right down the street was the Royal Haymarket, which is one of the oldest theaters in London. And I have a friend who's an actor, and he took me backstage at the Royal Haymarket once, and he told me that these theaters in London were built by sailors who came in from the sea because they weren't afraid of heights, and they knew how to tie knots and use ropes. And that's why we have words like crew and deck and rigging in the theater that all come from the sea. And as soon as I heard that, I had the same reaction, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I have to start a story in the 18th century on a ship, and of course if you have a ship in the 18th century and a story, there has to be a shipwreck. And I'll have a kid who survives, and then he'll get to this theater, and he'll help build the theater, and then grow up in the theater, and he'll become the progenitor of this family of actors. And so I did a lot of research at the theater, which was really amazing, and spent a lot of time walking around London. Now, about